can be pesky every once in a while.
Yes, it can.
Well, now on AM Extra, there's a chance to see a piece of art from the famed painter Claude Monet like he intended.
Now through August 10th, the Portland Art Museum has restored the iconic Waterlilies canvas in a beautiful exhibit that just opened this month. Kohr takes us inside Monet's floating worlds at Giverny.
Okay, I want to draw your attention to a temporary exhibit that has just opened up at the Portland Art Museum in downtown Portland. This is called Monet's Floating Worlds at Giverny. Portland Waterlilies resurfaces. This is Lloyd DeWitt, one of the curators here. Did I say Giverny correctly?
You sure did.
Yeah, my French from grade school is coming right back to me. All right, let's step out of the photo for just a second here so Carl can show us the print that we're looking at here. This, of course, is one of Monet's water lily photos, and it has recently, you're telling me, this has recently had the varnish taken off of it. A, why was the varnish there? And B, what does removal of the varnish do to the painting?
Yeah, well, the varnish was not intended by the artist. It was put on when the painting came into the country. There was a little repair made, and they decided at that moment that the painting should be varnished to protect the surfaces. But that's not what Monet intended. So that over 65 years, that varnish darkened, and the whites became gray, and all the colors kind of collapsed in on each other. So the painting was just looking farther and farther away from what Monet intended.
This process of removing this varnish is done with something like Q-tips and takes, like, I imagine, huge amounts of effort.
Exactly. You've
right?
got to have you've got an enormous amount of patience because you're rolling it across because you don't want to take any of the paint off, but you want to take all the varnish off, and that's especially tricky.
And again, it brings the colors off the canvas and brings them to life, for lack of a better way of putting it, right?
Yeah, exactly. All the vibrancy of the original tones are here, and you can see that what was a flat blue is now green and purple all beside each other, and so the painting has just gotten its own voice back, and that's, I think, what's so thrilling. Everyone remembers what it used to look like, but it's just really very vibrates for now.
It's really, it's
exuberant.
It's fabulous. Exuberance, a good word for it. I want to just introduce you to Mary Chapin over here, another one of the curators. And Monet was under the influence of a lot of Japanese art of the mid-1800s as well, correct?
That's right. Japanese prints were wildly popular in Europe at the time. They started coming into the market around 1850.
And this happened because Japan had opened up as a society mid-1800s,
That's exactly
right?
it, yes. And artists loved Japanese prints. Monet himself had a very large collection, and you see some of those influences in his painting. So for this exhibition, we've taken the opportunity to pair some of our Japanese prints and with Monet's painting, and also include European and American prints that were influenced by this Japonisme.
I love all of this because it tells you a little bit about history, tells you a little bit about geography. There's stories to be told in all of these canvases of Monet, some of the Japanese influences behind them. There's just so many things going on. I guess that's why it's fascinating for people to look at paintings, right?
Absolutely, and we had a great time putting this together. Every object tells a story, and there are a lot of ways to enter this exhibition.
Monet's Floating Worlds at Giverny. Portland's Waterlilies resurfaces here at the Portland Art Museum through August the 10th. Come on down and check it out. These are paintings on a wall, but they tell a lot of stories. They suggest a lot of things to you about life in the mid-1800s. It tells you a lot about people. There's a lot of things going on here in the confines of the paintings here at the Portland Art Museum.
I cannot imagine being one of those people to do the tedious work
of
taking that. That's baffling to me.
That restoration effort, it gives you a whole new appreciation for how big of a deal it is to have an original Monet on display, the way that it was intended to be seen.
Yeah.
Took a lot to get
I
there.
would need to listen to a podcast or something while I do that. My attention span wouldn't hold.
Oh, well, you can put your headphones in, wander around the museum. You have until August 10th if you want to go check out the new exhibit. For a link to tickets and more about what's happening at the Portland Art Museum, just check out this story on coin.com.
All right, well, happening this week, Dutch Bros getting in the leprechaun spirit. Of course, St. Patty's Day right around the corner, so you can get your green on with the